Hey, good morning. This is the face of relief. The bags are not as big as they were, and I slept fantastically last night. Still up at 4:30, but I went to bed early. Was absolutely shattered, and yeah, I slept really well. And the reason is I had my results back from the um, echocardiogram. So I had to go into the doctor first thing this morning to get those results. I mean, look, they came back, gosh, they were back within 2 days. And I don't know if that's got to do with the fact that I paid private for it or not, but the whole process from beginning to end has taken 2 weeks. And I know if I'd sort of gone with Medicare and been bulk billed for it, I know it would have taken a lot longer. And I wasn't prepared to wait. And if you, my advice, if you have the money, pay. Peace of mind, reduce anxiety, get it done. Literally, get it done. And I had that conversation with my doctor yesterday morning, and he said, "Why? What? How did you get it done so quickly?" Because he had put on the form for me to be bulk billed, and he said, "Look, it's going to take a while, etc., etc." But I said, "Well, I just paid," and they got me in within a few days. And look, he said, my advice would be to do the same. He said, if it was me, I would do exactly the same. Now, I had no idea what the results were except for what the consultants told me during the actual echocardiogram and stress test myself. So I just didn't know. They didn't say much except to say uh, it was okay, but they needed to do calculations. They needed to do this, that, and the other in order to tell me exactly what's going on. So I was none the wiser. So for the whole week that I waited, because I booked the follow up appointment a week later, for the whole week I've been a bundle of anxiety. If you talk to my husband, he would say I've been an absolute pain in the rear, because I probably have. And I've spoken very little. I haven't said much, and I've been probably a mess, really. I've just been doing my thing, living in my head, which isn't necessarily a great place to be sometimes. Because, as you all know, health anxiety can sort of, play havoc with the way you're feeling. So, yeah, I haven't been great all week at all. And the day before yesterday, so that evening, I was just, yeah, I was, yeah, a wreck, literally a wreck, because I was certain I was unwell, really unwell. But here's the thing. So I went into the doctor, and I sat down, and he said to me, "I think you're done." And I said, "Look, 54-year-old man," and he said 55, 54-year-old man, not in the greatest shape in the world. I'm probably not very well at all. And he said, "You done fantastically well." The first thing he talked about was the stress test. Now, I don't know much about it except I was on a treadmill. I managed 10 minutes apparently, and I got up to stage 4 on the Bruce scale, which is the scale they use to measure how fit your heart is. I'm guessing. I don't really know. I haven't really looked into it, which is unusual for me. And I did 13 Mets which, according to the Bruce scale, is excellent. Which I was extremely fit, well above average, and was able to complete a vigorous aerobic exercise. Oh no, how odd is that? When you look back, gosh, to 2018 when I started on that weight loss journey, I was horrendously overweight. I was 100 and, oh my god, what was I? About 110 kilos when I started, maybe a bit more. And today I'm down to 70. What was I this morning? 72. And that's a huge amount of weight to lose. I was smoking, I was drinking, I was doing everything that was bad for me, eating everything that was bad for me. It was, yeah. He said, I mean, he knows about my weight loss journey, and he said if I'd had that test done today, it may have been very different. So if I was the size I was then and had it done today, the results wouldn't have been anywhere near what they are now. So, I mean, he said, I think, what was it he said? You, for someone of my age, you're looking probably about 8 Mets, about average. 10 Mets is good, but he said, you did 13. He said, you should really be proud of yourself for doing that. When I got off that treadmill, I felt so dizzy. I felt so disorientated. I was sure that I'd failed it. But the GP assured me that that's all perfectly normal. Your blood pressure apparently lowers dramatically after a vigorous workout like that, and had to hold me up because I thought I was going to faint. But he said that's all normal. He said it's fine. And all the while that I'm wired up and they're checking my heart and all the rest of it. Blood pressure was a little bit high, but as he said, you were in a very alien situation. So he said that's not a concern. It really isn't a concern at all. And my blood pressure as a rule was quite low, especially now. And the last thing I'd want to do is go on blood pressure tablets because dizziness, Christ. I mean, I know when I gave them up, I was feeling absolutely dizzy and disorientated because I'd lost so much weight and I didn't need to be on them anymore. So I would not want to restart those ever. The ultrasound. So look, there is a murmur, and it isn't what he thought. So it wasn't a bicuspid valve. I think I've said this on the previous video, but it wasn't a bicuspid valve, which is a good thing. But there is what he said was, it's like a backflow, and I don't know the reasons exactly for it. I've got the forms at home, but he said it's just the way your anatomy is. So there's a slight backflow. There is a leak or a slight leakage in the aortic valve, which is causing the murmur. And he said, it's not something you should be concerned about. And he said, as a rule, I mean, probably the murmur itself has been there for many, many years, probably since I was a kid. I mean, I don't think I was ever checked for a murmur at all. I don't know. But that was all fine. Everything else was fine. My heart size was fine, or the arteries are fine. There was literally no issues at all. And he said, for someone of my age and the lifestyle I used to lead, I'm very, very lucky that it is as it is, and I am, and I understand that. So we kind of had a little bit of a discussion after that about anxiety and the difficulties that I experience as someone who suffers, especially with health anxiety. And I'm going to pay to get some therapy, good therapy, and it will allow me to talk through my anxieties, health anxiety, and Medicare will fund half of that course, and I will fund the other half, which is great. And he said that will be set up as soon as I get back from holiday. And if I was going through this in the UK, and I do slag off Australia often, not online, to my partner possibly, but if I was going through this in the UK, the waiting list times for each and everything I've had done would be astronomical. I'd still be waiting now for an echocardiogram. And yes, you have to pay money here. You've got to pay money, but you get things done. I literally cannot complain about that. I mean, I did a bit of a comparison actually, so I wanted to just find out how much echocardiograms cost. If I got it done in the UK, it would be free, obviously, and here it was $1,000. And I know I did the research for for America as well, where the private healthcare sector is completely out of control. But I think was a quote of $3,500 US. So that's about getting over 7,000 Australian dollars. So that's 7 times what I paid. I'm lucky to live in a country where the healthcare is good, very good. I'm lucky to be able to afford to pay private when I need to. I do have private health insurance to an extent. I haven't got full coverage because I don't need it or I don't want it. And the health service here is particularly good anyway. I'm lucky I live in an area where there's a hospital. Because Australia is so spread out, where I live, there's a hospital literally over the road. It's really a good thing for someone with health anxiety because I can sort of turn up whenever I want. But you go to A&E, you're not waiting for 10-12 hours to see someone, and it's good. It is good. So that side of things, I'd rather have the health service here. Yes, you pay for a doctor. Yes, you pay a lot of money for prescriptions and stuff like that. But the system works. It really does. And I think this is going to cause a bit of consternation, especially with people like my father, who is a left-wing socialist. But I think people should be paying more in the UK for services, and I think they should be paying to see a doctor, and it would sort of prevent these notorious health anxiety sufferers from turning up or not turning up to appointments when they definitely should, And I'm a health anxiety sufferer, and I went to my appointments, but there are people who just make appointments and just don't turn up and cause all sorts of problems with the health service. And this is why you get 2-3 week waits in the UK, whereas here I can book and see a doctor now if I want to, this minute. It's very different in a marvellous way. So this is the end of what I can only describe as a real debilitating few months. And I do feel haggard and drawn, and I'm getting better. I mean, last night I had a great sleep, and I do feel exhausted, of course, naturally. But ever since I had the thing on my back, which I thought was cancer, and everything, heart pain, the lot has just been really, really debilitating. And I had staph infections like you wouldn't believe, and they could still come back. I'm going on holiday shortly, and I tend to get these things when I'm on holiday. So I'm just praying and hoping that it just doesn't happen again, because I don't want it. I really don't. I haven't had it. The odd thing is, the last staph infection I had was when I got back from Taiwan. I haven't had one in Australia. I don't get it in Australia. So there's something when I'm abroad going on, whether it's something I'm getting on the plane, or whether it's something, I don't know, in the hotels, or whether it's to do with the humidity and the temperature. I don't know. I can't really comment. I just don't know. I'm taking all sorts of precautions this time when I travel to Thailand and Singapore. So I'm taking a lot of precautions, and to make sure I shower 2-3 times a day if necessary, and just keep those infections at bay. Maybe I'm just more prone to them. If anybody knows, let me know. Leave comments, and because I need to know why some people get these infections more than others. I've had numerous blood tests done, so it's nothing to do with my immune system. I'm fine. There's nothing sinister going on, but I just get these infections, and they're debilitating. They really are. Because you take time off work, you have to get. I was on IV antibiotics and all the rest of it, and it's just insane. This is every time I'm going abroad. So this time I'm just hoping for the best. I've never had a staph infection from Thailand, as it happens, and we're going back to Thailand, and Singapore is a very, very clean country. It's very humid. So, but it's a lot cleaner than some of the other countries I've been to in the past. So, who knows, I think the worst one I had was when I got back from Vietnam. That's when I was in the operating theatre within a few days. So, this time, just fingers crossed, So, yeah, looking forward to the holiday now. It's not too much longer. And so we are going to Thailand, back to our favourite restaurant, staying in a few hotels there, doing a few things that we didn't do before. So we've done all the really major touristy hotspots, and we're going to try and do a little more, a little more local oddities, maybe call them, eccentricities, things that we wouldn't have normally done in the past. So we're going to try and do some different things. And at least I've been given the okay to go. So I did say to the doctor actually yesterday, can I go on holiday? He goes, go on holiday, relax. He said, you deserve it, and just take your mind off absolutely everything, and enjoy yourself. Have a few drinks. I don't drink particularly, but I'm going to have a few drinks. So the only other thing I've got literally on my mind is the glaucoma, which I have to see my optician when I get back. I'm supposed to see him before, but I thought, do you know what? I'm not going to go on holiday with another diagnosis on top of me. I will get that sorted when I come back, and I will. And I've got to. That's on my list of things to do. I've also got to get a COVID jab before I go. And I know people are going to say to me, why do you keep getting COVID jabs? Because I get it bad. I had COVID recently, and I got it bad. And I need to protect myself. My blood group is prone to it. My genetic makeup is very prone to worst outcomes with COVID. So I'm going to get my COVID jab. End of. Please don't tell me there's a conspiracy. Please don't tell me there's mad people injecting mad stuff inside of me, because it's patently untrue. And I can't be dealing with conspiracy theories. I really can't. So, don't. Just don't. Please don't. And we are seeing a very old dear friend, Justin, in Singapore. And which would be lovely, because I haven't seen him since, bloody hell, about 10 years. In effect, and we've had our ups and downs, me and Justin, but it will be lovely to see him. Very proud of Justin. He's done some wonderful things with his life. He's got his bachelor's, he's got his master's, and he's now a chartered surveyor. So he's doing amazing. Still has to have a good time, don't we all? But he's done amazing things. And that's something to be celebrated for sure. He's already sent me a list of things he wants to do actually. So I'm not sure how many, like going to raffles. I know it's bloody expensive. I mean, Singapore's expensive anyway. Okay, I'll go there for 1 or 2 drinks, but that's it, because I don't want to be taking out a second mortgage just to go to a bloody hotel in Singapore. But hey, it will be an experience, I'm sure. So at least now there is patent relief, hopefully, on my face. I can smile and I can just relax, and that's what I want. So anyway, that's it this week. Hopefully I'm a bit more cheerful than I've been in the past, and less tired and less drawn. Still got bags, but not so bad as they were. Always good to talk to you all. So take care and ciao for now.